everyone, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are going to be checking out Shepherd. Unsolicited in my email associated with my booktube channel from Ben, who has this website named Shepherd that is supposed to be a new website to like check out books and recommend things, and it's very small right now. We're gonna take a look at it. I have not experienced everything. I'm actually gonna film this part right here at the end of 2024 because I think I have officially gotten my top 3 books of the year and I want to try that feature. From what I understand, this is a small website, does not have a ton of stuff going on for it right now, but that has a lot of like, I guess, like authors that he's invited in to share some of their favorites. I don't know who's all on here, but one of the top features that he was talking about is having a top 3, and then once you're able to like go in and have people on there that like you can build your community sort of thing, you can then see everyone's top 3. So we're gonna get on here and like take a look at everything that this has to offer currently, and I think I might try and use this more throughout 2025 depending on what kind of stuff they have on here, as one of the book sites that I'm going to be trying out for the whole year. So let me pull up on my screen, maybe actually on this side so you guys can see everything. Okay, we're going to be putting it over here, but as you can see, we are on Shepherd. This is what it is going to look like. There, again, is not going to be a ton of stuff, so like if I try to go to my profile, this is all there is for the profile right now. It is just a username, my first name and last name. I've double checked and he's like, this is all you have so far. They are working on some other things. I don't know a ton, but they have this best books. So these are supposed to be the readers that are on Shepherd, their favorite books of 2024. They only have 1,579 readers right now that have shared at least their top 3 books of 2024. I haven't yet, so I figure we're gonna do that today. You guys will actually see this video after I share my favorites, so we're not spoiling anything. And they have like James by Percival Everett was chosen by 47 different people as their top books. I will say, based on what I've seen for the top 3 books here, a lot of them are not things that are like my genre, but if you go down a little bit, we do have people that picked like Fourth Wing and Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, which I know were very, very popular books like even last year. So they have like winning for writing or characters, for immersion and emotions. Like, I think it's very, very intriguing to see this. Again, a lot of the books here are not necessarily things I would pick, but we continue down. We do have some people that picked The Song of Achilles or Tress of the Emerald Sea. So we do have some things that are not just like literary fiction. But I wanted to see, oh, it looks like you can pick out the most read books in 2024. or only the books that were published in 2024, which changes some stuff a little bit, but not like a ton. I wanted to see, like, starting with my top book of the year, I'm going with Voyage of the Damned. Like, again, if you guys have seen my top best books of 2024, that is my favorite book. I did listen to it on audio. I think Nathan Fode's narration is part of the reason. I think it is amazing. Like, I loved the characters. I loved the fact that it was literally a murder mystery in a fantasy setting. And it's just like, it was so good. So I want to see, and like, yeah, if Agatha Christie wrote a fantasy, this would be it, like 100%. So this is like giving you the summary of Voyage of the Damned. And as we continue down, there are 2 lists with Voyage of the Damned. One person has queer family fantasy, and then we also have somebody else's 3 favorite reads of 2024 as one of theirs. There are also 100 handpicked books like Voyage of the Damned. I do not know how these are picked, if it's just based, it says similar books based on genre, topic, theme, and mood. I'm curious about like theme and mood. However, based on genre, even like Six of Crows I would not called those similar. So I do think some of these might not be it. There are other book lists that could be connected based by genre, topic, theme, or mood. And these are all curated by people on this website. Genres connected to Voyage of the Damned. Mystery romance has 254 books, but then like you go to detectives and it's 3,100 books. Thrillers 3,400, romance thriller 300, gay fantasy 57, queer sci-fi 77. So like again, this is not a ton of stuff here. So it is something that I'm very curious in. Like I'm very curious to see where this is going to go. I don't think they've gotten much in the book DNA section yet. I've heard that they're going to be using that more as something to like put things in here and maybe get recommendations and things that way. But the first thing I really wanted to do was share my 2024. Interesting. I think I'm still going to do it as a whole 2024 calendar year because they're saying from October 2023 to September 2024. And I understand that this says, why does the year, like the book year, not match the calendar year? And it's because readers are looking for best books of the year in October. But I personally do not like having it from October to September. Like I already don't like that Goodreads, because like I'm in December right now. It's December 20th right now when I'm filming this. I don't like that Goodreads put out there, here's your wrap up of the end of the year stuff like last week. Like it's December still. People start putting out their end of the year content in December, like best books, worst books, all that kind of stuff, and I'm just like, I'm still reading. Not in the like, I need to get more numbers out to finish out the year. Like I've hit my goals. Like I'm not doing any of that because I need to hit my goals. I'm just doing it because I like to read, and that's something I do a lot. Like I'm not gonna not read something for 3-4 weeks and just not because the numbers are coming out. I am going to be treating this like normal. So I technically read like 158, I think, books as of right now. I'm going with that. And it says, why should I share my 3 favorite reads of the year? To help authors you love get noticed, share your favorite reads. Feed our book DNA system to help everyone find books they love. Like I love the idea of this. So let's continue. My favorite book, Voyage of the Damned by Frances White. Loved it. 5 out of 5 stars. Ooh, what did I love the most? Absolutely, I'm 100% like a character person. Love the characters. Can I pick more things? I can't. Okay, down. Second thing I loved most. Okay, we also have emotions, originality, being taught something. Okay, so I guess maybe like if you do some like nonfiction and things like that, I don't necessarily think for me that would be like a thing. Outlook, how it challenged or changed my outlook. Immersion, writing, plot or story, and thoughts. I really loved the characters. I really loved the plot and the story, and immersion was really good. Thoughts and feelings, it was very original, I thought, as well. I think just based on everything, I'm gonna have to say next was probably the plot and the story. How did I feel about the writing style? I'm gonna say loved it. It's definitely not 100% like a writing style that I feel like is my thing, but again, with the way that I read it, with the audiobook and everything, like everything worked 100% perfectly. Like I already really want to reread it. What happened? Legos? What was the pace? I couldn't put it down. 100%. Why did you love or like this book? I don't think I've written any reviews for this book currently, so I'm gonna skip that for now. Maybe I can come back to it. Did you listen to this as an audiobook? I did. And did you read it part as a book club? No. Second favorite book. Okay, so this one, Role Playing by Kathy Yardley. Loved it. What did I love most? Okay, so I know in general, I'm going to say characters and emotions, but I want to say emotions first maybe, and then characters in this one. This was a romance, a contemporary romance that was friends to lovers, but also they had this sort of like miscommunication sort of thing near the beginning where we have them both in this like online RPG, like an MMO type of thing, and they're in the same guild, and one person thinks the guy that's going to college is like 18 even though he's like in his 40s, and then he thinks the woman is like in her 80s because she is a friend of his mom, and she's also like in her 40s, and it just, they had 100% the friendship aspect down first before it turned into any sort of romance. There were lots of emotion and feelings, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. Again, love the writing style. I feel like this was a good steady pace for the pacing of the book, and I do think I wrote a review on this because I was trying to write reviews on everything I read this year. Did not exactly happen for like the end of the year, but that means I should have a review for role-playing here that I can copy paste for now. Show more. Did I listen on audiobook? No. Was it part of a book club? No. My third favorite book, I'm going to say The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. I read actually both role-playing and The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet back in February, and I could not pick between them, but just based on how long this has been since then, I think role-playing is edging it out slightly because I want to reread that one more, but again, loved it. What did I love most? Immersion and characters, because it was a much slower thing. Writing style, again, probably loved it. I feel like I know if I don't love something, and this book, it was sort of slow going at times, but I feel like still a good steady pace. Let's go with that, because I feel like it was just, this book is a more slower book, a more character building book, not necessarily a fast plot book, but again, I should have a review. I do sort of wish I had a review for Voyage of the Damned, but I do not currently. Did I listen to this on audiobook? No. I did read it as my book club, so I'm going to say yes for now. Okay. Imagine never running out of incredible books to read. Get weekly recommendations based on your 3 favorite reads of the year. Let's do that for now because, like I said, I am curious to see what this site is actually going to give me, and I think that would be very intriguing. Am I an author? No, I am not. Finish. What's next? They will email you once your page is published. Okay, so they're going to set that up. Okay, I think that's where we're going to end for now, because I do want to see what this sort of looks like and where we can go from this. I will probably come back with some more stuff to let you guys know about afterwards, because we now need to just wait for it to be published. Again, this is like an indie book site that is still in the process of getting a lot of stuff on here, so let's leave that for now and come back to it. Okay, so it has been a while now. We are now near the end of January. I have recently talked about all of my book trackers and reading trackers for the year, and I now need to actually go back in and let us double check Shepherd. So one thing I will mention right away is they did email me pretty soon after the last time, and I just knew I didn't have time to like go back in and double check my top 3 books of the year, but I didn't realize until I started editing the previous information that when I signed up and talked about my top 3 books of the year, I said it was okay for them to email me recommendations based off of my top 3, weekly even. It has now been over a month. I have not received any emails from them except for my original, hey, your 3 favorite reads of the year are live. So that's a thing. We're gonna go in and just take a look and see what it looks like now. So here is the email. I have, I think, a link that I can also post down below of where you guys can see my favorite reads. You can potentially look at my profile that way. I'm not entirely sure, but I'll leave a link down below. But this is what it looks like. Here are my top 3 reads. We did talk about everything about these earlier, but it is Voyage of the Damned by Frances White, Role Playing by Kathy Yardley, and The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. We now have 1,884 readers on here that have shared their 3 favorite reads of the year. So like 300 more, I want to say, than last time. And I do like that they have this little part here where it has the book, it has everything that they asked me for, obviously. And I don't have a review for Voyage of the Damned. I did talk about it in my best books of the year video, but I never actually fully wrote that review. My second favorite book and my third favorite book, and that's basically it. They do have this book DNA area that I did not play with last time, but since we're here and I'm curious if this has been updated, previously when Ben was first emailing me about Shepherd and doing my top 3 books of the year, he had mentioned that they're going to have the book DNA stuff, and it sounded like it wasn't up yet. I don't know if it's actually working or not, but I figure, let's see. It says we are new and don't have all authors or books yet. They're working on it, so that's fine. But you have a spot for 3 favorite books or authors and 3 favorite genres and topics. I want to put some stuff in here, especially things that maybe I was reading near the end of last year, beginning of this year in 2025 that I was loving, and see what pops up. I think I'm going to lean more into like a fantasy area because I feel like that might be easier. So I am going to start with Voyage of the Damned. I also recently read Fourth Wing, and I did really enjoy that, so I think I'm going to put that as well. And another fantasy that I really enjoyed. Let's go with a cozy fantasy. I read Legends and Lattes last year. Really did enjoy that one. It just never hit my top 3. It was in my top 10 though. And then favorite genres and topics. Since we're doing this, let's do fantasy, romance, and topics, magic, maybe? I mean, fantasy should have that, right? So let's see my book DNA recommendations. It's thinking. Okay, so based on the things that I put in with different books and different genres, we're getting lists of things that other people put in. I do find it interesting that everything seems to be curated through other people. Not that that's a bad thing, but it's not something that is just going to like use an AI or populate itself based on a bunch of different recommendations. Like you can find a lot of different recommendations like on Goodreads based on things that you've rated highly. I don't know how that works, but that's a thing. And so based on my Frances White book choice, Laura's list has queer family fantasy that gives you the feels. I feel like, was that one of the ones that we talked about earlier? Maybe. So there's a list there. Jessica has a list based on Rebecca Yarros that are books that will get you completely obsessed with the world of fantasy. Jennifer, okay, so maybe I have a list per thing I put in because it's based on Travis Baldree, cozy sci-fi and fantasy. I didn't personally like, oh my gosh, my voice is going, guys. I did not realize that was going to happen today. I didn't personally like The Library of the Dead too much, but I loved All Systems Red. Alexa has a list based on romance, upbeat paranormal romances. I DNF'd Wolf Gone Wild. The werewolf thing was just not my thing, but there's other options here. And then based on romance, Stephen has a list of romance without sappy character introspection. I don't know how I feel personally about a guy making a list without sappy character introspection, especially where one of them is Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind is literary fiction, it's not a romance. So, yeah. No, okay. Based on my fantasy one, Nathaniel has a magic in space for middle schooler. Why the fuck is Dune on this list? And Red Sister. Orson Scott Card is a horrible person. None of these are for middle schoolers. Okay, I'm side-eyeing hard here. And then we have, based on the magic, AC has a list for taking a fantastic break from the current reality. Could be good. It has stuff I recognize. And then there's more. Okay, so again, because these are based on people writing the lists, very subjective, not necessarily true. I am side-eyeing hard at that middle schooler list. Do not give your middle schooler Red Sister. Do not give your middle schooler Dune. For everybody else out there, do not give your middle schooler Wicked. Obviously. Okay, I think that's actually all we can really check on right now. And my voice is going. I did not realize we were going here today. The kids have had runny noses, but besides that have been fine. Apparently, I'm getting it. It's going straight to my throat, which does happen when I get sick sometimes. So we're gonna end this now. But I do think this is an interesting site to keep an eye on. I am very curious to see if I will ever get any recommendations based on my top 3, and I will probably do my top 3 again at the end of 2025 at least, just to see what it's looking like at the end of the year. But otherwise, yeah, if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos. I do have videos coming out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, so I will see you then. Bye.